There's no other way for me to start this YouTube video without saying aware and wadima people. My name is Courtney Thomas and I'm a creative entrepreneur based in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, and today I just wanted to talk about our best friend as creatives, and that's imposter syndrome. So let's start off by defining what imposter syndrome is and how it affects us as creatives, and then we'll talk about it. You know what I mean? We're gonna just dive in and say what we're gonna have to say about it, because I struggle with that too, and I'm sure a lot of y'all do too. So according to me, or my definition of imposter syndrome, is that little voice or that little feeling that you get in your body when you're about to do something dope, you know what I mean? And when I say you're about to do something dope, maybe you're about to apply for a job, you're about to create a new design, you're about to shoot a new film, you're about to write a new script, you're about to do something new in the creative industry that's going to benefit you, and you start to get this feeling of doubt in your body, or that voice saying, ish, but what if this actually isn't dope, or what if it doesn't work out? And that's what I define as imposter syndrome. And what does imposter syndrome lead to? It obviously just going to lead to you missing out on a whole lot of opportunities that you could have gotten just by pushing through and following through, maybe with that intuition, that initial feeling that you had to do something, you know what I mean, to actually create a new campaign for Nike or something. You never know, that could have worked, or if it couldn't have worked, you know what I mean. So just as a little intro to this video, and to get to know me a little bit better, a lot of you are watching this channel for the first time. I don't have much subscribers at the time of posting this video, but hopefully we grow together, we go together, you know what I mean. But as a person or as a creative, I'm someone that has experience in music production, cinematography, filmmaking, content creation, graphic design, illustration. Basically, I've done a lot of work within the creative industry, and as much as I've done a lot of work, I also struggle with imposter syndrome, and sometimes I find myself in front of really dope opportunities to maybe not necessarily make money, but just to grow myself as an individual and become more skillful. And that little voice in my head would be like to me, yo dog, I don't think you've got enough skills for this thing. Let's go home and research. And then you end up, or I end up, or we end up in this loop where we're researching and gathering information and watching YouTube podcasts and this, that, trying to gather as much information to a point where the opportunity actually passes. Or it becomes like saturated, in this case of like drop shipping and that kind of thing, where the first person to obviously discover the system of drop shipping was like, yo, we're gonna do ABC and it's gonna work and make us money, and they acted on that. And then a few people after that obviously discovered the opportunity, but they didn't act on it because of that imposter syndrome, and they lost out on being early innovators within that industry. And it's the same for us as creatives. Let's think about it this way, like sometimes you think of really dope designs and you be like, nah, ish bro, it's whack, like I've been saying as reference throughout this video or the earlier parts of this video. And you never know, like that grand edit that you might do just like in 5 minutes on Photoshop might just be the new trend that's gonna be like, yo, trending, going viral. People, influencers are gonna be using it to edit their photos with or edit their videos with, and you could get a bag from that because you might be called up to design certain effects for big companies, big film companies, big advertising agencies, and that kind of thing. And that's why I always like to say, like, don't ever doubt your ideas, just act upon them to a point where you can see like that you've done the most, or you've pushed it to the best place possible. So like, I'll leave this here and I'll just say this once, like, dala what you master, but don't dala trays, or that's something like me and a friend used to say a long time ago. I just found it relevant to say that. And dala what you must just means do what you must do in order to achieve what you need to achieve. And I don't mean to encourage like any dubious behavior. Please don't go there in the streets and say, God said do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, that. But anyway, just to go back to our topic of imposter syndrome, I wanted to give like a couple of examples of how imposter syndrome presents itself, especially to creatives. Um, so like sometimes you find um, you get all, you know what I mean, you switch on your PC, you go to your cute little setup, the one that you put all those LED lights that you think you need from like ambience in the room or whatever it is, and you sit down and you get there and your mind goes blank and you're like, ish, I've actually got no ideas, no like motivation to create anything. And that's a part of the signs and symptoms of imposter syndrome coming into you, because that's only coming from a place of doubt, you know. And there's always things that you can do or can make, there's always campaigns that you can rerun. Like I always tell myself, as like someone that's doing graphics at the moment, there's always an advert that can be made for a company. There's always someone that's looking to improve their brand, to improve their advertising, to improve their menus, to improve this, that. And one way to eliminate imposter syndrome, I think, is like design dope things. Like just design every day. Get into the habit. Like you need to get into the habit of being creative in order to not suffer from that imposter syndrome vibe. If you feel me, I know that it may sound like I'm rambling a lot in this video, but it is one of the first videos that I'm putting out in years. And that's just because also like I suffered from imposter syndrome for a long time, and this is me actually trying to break the current imposter syndrome that I'm fighting against, which was like I always created dope content for other people. I always create dope ads, dope flyers, dope this, that, this, that, this, that. I'll post them, you know what I mean, over this transition. But I never ever actually got down to shooting content for myself, like the content of me working, content of me going to shoots and shooting, content like this where I'm talking to the camera directly and just saying what I need to say without scripting out anything or having a screen in front of me that I'm reading from. And I think from today going forward, we're just going to be posting more and more content of me doing stuff, so you get to see like a lot of my behind the scenes from the edits that I do, how I made some of those like vintage posters that are available on my Instagram, how I edited some of those short clips that you see on my page, how I did the 5120 thing. I can give you all the information on that. And yeah, I think we're gonna just go daily, and if there's any issues that you want to talk about personally as a creative, just leave it in the comment section or DM me on Instagram and we can dive in and talk about it. You feel what I'm saying? So back to what we were talking about earlier on the issue of imposter syndrome. I just want to recommend maybe 3 ways we can overcome imposter syndrome. I think, like, to give a little short story, as a creative, you can't bite into every apple and put it down. You see, because you end up spoiling all the apples, and then when you get now the opportunity to turn at that same apple, you've destroyed it by just taking one bite from it and leaving it. So one way to overcome imposter syndrome, or the first way that I can say, is when you start a project, finish it. Don't take a bite and leave it halfway, or just leave it at that bite, you know what I mean? Push the project, see it through, make sure you see the final product, and avoid like that scenario, that situation whereby when like a client complains about an edit or asks for too many revisions, or it's just, you know, one of those difficult clients to work with, avoid running away from that job. If you find like you start a film, try finish that kind of thing, like I said, because what's going to happen is that's going to show you that you can finish projects, you can something, and it's going to show you that you're a doer and not a quitter, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's just the first thing that I have to say. And the second thing maybe is like try specialize into doing something, you know what I mean? One thing. Maybe if you want to be an illustrator, be an illustrator, learn everything about illustration, so that when opportunities arise in that field of illustration or cinematography, whatever it is, you've got all the tools, you've got the skill set to actually interact or do that job well. Interact with or do that job well. Excuse, you know what I mean? We're working on the whole thing. But the third thing I would just say is Speak confidently about the things that you do. Speak positively to yourself. Don't ever like tell yourself that you suck. Don't ever tell yourself that like, this is not dope. Always try and encourage yourself to do better and to love the work that you do, because at the end of the day, if you don't love it, no one else is going to love it. And for today, let's just cut it off there. Let's just keep it short. Watch this video, let me know your thoughts. Obviously, I'm going to change the set design, I'm going to change the lighting. Today I just set this up in my bedroom and we're cooking it up, so it's going to be the first video and we're going to go from there. Tomorrow I'll post another one, and the next day. This is in reference as well to the one of the last posts that I did on my Instagram, where I said we'd be posting 3 times a week. So if you'd like to join that challenge, just go on that post and comment, let's go, so I can send you the details to that challenge. I'm gonna leave all my like social media stuff at the end of this video so that y'all can see. But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for staying with me through all this rambling and ranting. And let's get it and go. Let's kill that imposter syndrome.